Welcome to the explosive, exclusive viewers, the show that sets the national agenda. And today we are talking about a story that will make your hair stand on ends. Why? Because viewers, the most important necessity at a time when you are diagnosed with corona is healthcare. All this while we have known that there will be limitations when it comes to getting health care of an adequate nature in the state-run hospitals. But what we didn't think was that when you're left without any recourse, private hospitals, looking at your desperation, will try to feast on you like vultures. This story is a Times Now investigation. Navika Kumar who is going to take us through this investigation. This is a very serious story about how people are being exploited by those who have signed an oath to save their lives.
Well, it's very clear, viewers, tonight that we are between a rock and a hard place. That's the way we need to look at the entire unfolding scenario of healthcare in the country. While on the one hand, the government-run hospitals are overwhelmed with the numbers that they are having to deal with the shortage of staff and with the shortage of facilities, even to dispose of dead bodies. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, even dead bodies disposal has become an issue for government hospitals. And at such a time, if you have to really take recourse to private-run hospitals, what are you going to do? Because these private-run hospitals are putting profit above COVID. And that's the investigation that we as Times Now and our teams have done tonight. And this investigation will reveal how private hospitals are blindly fleecing patients during a pandemic. We went to 3 prominent private hospitals, and this time our case study is from Chennai. 3 private hospitals in Chennai to take stock of the ordeal a person has to endure in his time of greatest need in the first sting operation. Times Now's Shilpa Nair inquires about the hospital's charges for a COVID-positive patient. They reveal that the cost of a patient to be on the ventilator is between 1 lakh to 1.25 lakh rupees per day. That's the kind of bill. How many people can afford something like that? Listen in to how these patients are actually being fleeced in the name of healthcare. Take a look.
Hi, ma'am. How is the patient, madam? Is he stable? Yeah, he has only mild symptoms. No. He has only mild symptoms, only throat pain, that's all. Okay. No other issues. But we are very scared.
What's his name? What's his name?
His name is Manish.
Manish.
Yeah.
So now he's in scale doctor?
No, he's in RGGH.
Here we have a single sharing room at present vacant, madam.
It's sharing only you have? Okay.
But if there's any vacant AC room, we'll shift him later.
Okay.
Availability, as per the availability, we'll shift him now.
Okay.
Cost estimate will be around 50 to 60 if it's a AC room. Is tested
Single.
positive?
Yeah, he's tested.
When was he tested?
3 days back.
3 days. Maybe usually 48 hours later again they recheck, madam.
No, his second test also. Yeah.
Okay. Then we have to admit him in the COVID block only. We can't admit him elsewhere. So there the rates might be 40 to 50,000 per day, madam.
Per day. Okay. And 40 to 50. Any
Room will get 11,000.
room rent is 11,000.
TPs must be 10,000
per day. Okay.
And other things like monitor or usage of ventilator or that will be separately charged. Diet will be separately charged. So room rent and TPs alone will be charged around 20,000 per day.
Any advance, because some other hospitals
50,000 advance.
50,000.
And covered under the insurance?
Yeah, we are.
So we'll apply that.
Okay.
If it's process, okay. If not, we'll have to pay.
Okay. So, is there any mandatory, like, do you discharge once the symptoms go away, or do you wait?
We'll shift him for after 7 days. We'll again test him, madam.
Okay.
If that is negative, we'll shift him for observation in another room.
Okay.
And from there, we might discharge.
Okay.
Yeah. If the patient's condition worsens, then you have to shift him on the unstable side. Unstable side.
But you have
7 days
you have
we have to
vacancies
pay
here.
So you have to check it up.
Some other hospitals, they were like, you know, it's very crowded and they're demanding.
No, we have a few rooms separately for COVID doctor. We'll find out which room. Do you want a single AC or not?
Single preferably.
Single preferably.
Yeah.
Single level இருக்குமா? கேட்டு பாருங்க. Deluxe ஒன்று இருக்குல்ல அங்க? 580. One deluxe is available.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Deluxe meaning?
Deluxe is 6,500 separate room AC.
Okay, per day.
But no attendant will be allowed inside, madam.
Oh.
In any room.
Oh.
Where alone and it is informed anything by phone by the PT doctors.
Okay.
No visiting time also.
So 6,500 is for deluxe room.
Deluxe room plus PPE plus other things extra, medicines, everything is extra.
Okay.
So that will come from the 70
Roughly,
to
do you- if
70 to 80,000 you keep safely
safely
per day.
per day to
It is a
80.
deluxe room.
Okay.
And the deluxe room should be eligible under insurance also. If that is not approved, then you have to pay a huge amount.
If it's the ward means, then how much should be?
40 to 50, maximum 60.
60 every day.
I'm telling you the higher
Government
side.
hospital
I'm
we
telling
are.
the higher side. Maybe
Yeah, yeah, obviously. We're just scared to put him in government hospital. இல்ல only throat pain.
If it's ventilator, it will be more. It will go to 1.2. 1.2 to 1.2. 1 lakh to 125,000.
If it's ventilated.
Now, viewers, as we know, this is an unprecedented outbreak. We don't know the type of virus we are dealing with, the number of days it takes. There's nothing on a chart. It's all oral. It can all be changed and it can all be completely revised. And you heard that these were rates only if you're insured. If you're not insured, if you don't have an insurance, the sky is the limit. We don't know the charge for the PPEs. You don't know the charge of the drugs because it's difficult to detect. First of all, the line of treatment and then the drugs that need to be used. So this bill can keep getting inflated. This is not the only hospital. Times Now, Shabir Ahmed, also in Chennai, went for a spot check. We were asked there for an advance of 3 lakhs. Even before you were to bring the patient, they said, the moment you step in, you pay 3 lakhs. This is all advance per day. Can you imagine, viewers, if you're in there for 14 days, you will come out, maybe COVID-free, but certainly without a shirt on your back. Listen to this.
Ma'am, we have to bring one patient here. We have to bring from Omandurar, my friend's father. Just wanted to inquire, are they beds here or how is the COVID positive?
நீங்கள் கூட்டிகிட்டு வரலாம் ரிசல்ட் வந்துருச்சா
ரிசல்ட் வந்துச்சு பாசிட்டிவ் பட் ஹியர் ஒன்லி மைல்ட்
14 days இங்கே வந்து குவாரண்டைன் பண்ணிடுவாங்க பேஷண்டோட கண்டிஷனை பொறுத்து மேபி 10 daysல கூட ரிலீஸ் பண்ணாலும் பண்ணலாம் சரிங்களா
because somebody told me there are no ICU and
ஐசியூ இல்லை சார் ஐசியூ ஃபுல்லாக இருக்குது அதை நீங்கள் டேரெக்டாக இங்கே இருக்கிற போர்ட் லைனுக்கு தான் கால் பண்ணி என்கொயரி பண்ணணும் ஏன்னா ஐசியூ வேகன்சிஸ் இல்லை சுத்தமாக
you have to pay advance payment or
கண்டிப்பாக சார்
what is the
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒரு 3 lakhs கிட்ட வரும்
package for normal beds ICU
இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா
இது கவர் பண்ணலாம்ல இதில்
இன்சூரன்ஸில் என்ன ஆகுதோ அது வந்து உங்களுக்கு கேஷ்லெஸ்ஸாக இருந்தாலுமே ஒரு 1லேருந்து 1.5 கிட்ட நீங்கள் நான் மெடிக்கல்ஸ் பே பண்ண மாதிரி ஏன்னா அந்த பிபி கிட்ட எல்லாம் வந்து அதில் கவர் ஆகலை எங்களுக்குமே பேஷண்ட் சைட் சொன்னாங்க எங்களுக்குமே வி ஆர் நாட் அவேர் ஆஃப் தட் பட் இன்சூரன்ஸில் இதெல்லாம் வந்து கவர் ஆகலைன்னு சொல்லி சொன்னாங்க டெஃபினெட்லி ஐசியூவாக இருந்ததுன்னா கண்டிப்பாக 1 லட்ச ரூபா பே பண்ணுவாங்க
எவ்வளோ நாள் மேடம்
14 days டிபெண்ட் ஆன் பேஷண்ட் கண்டிஷனை பொறுத்து பாசிட்டிவாக இருந்ததுன்னா பாசிட்டிவ்னு செக் பண்ணிட்டாங்க ரொம்ப பிரீத்திங் டிஃபிகல்ட்டியாக இருக்கும்
ஒரு மாதிரி இருக்கு because we are very parents are very scared they can't come here so they have sent us our colleagues father so they wanted to encourage நாங்கள் 2-3 hospitals பார்க்குறோம்
தான் கொஞ்சம்
the problem is they are also financially what is இது அப்படின்றத பார்த்துக்கிட்டு we can take a call otherwise they are saying they'll shift them to Nandambakkam mild patients இருந்தால் அங்கே பண்ணிடுறாங்க அப்படின்றாங்க so we don't want to take a risk because other people are also positive there yeah that is why advance எவ்வளோ பே பண்ணுவாங்க
ஐசியூஆர்னா 1 lakh பே பண்ணுற மாதிரி வரும்.
1 lakh. Sir, we'll inform them, JP. We'll tell them, ask them to come. No?
ஓகே சார், தேங்க்யூ.
Well, you heard that. 3 lakh rupee advance, 1 to 1.25 lakhs for a ventilator per day, and 10,000 rupees worth PPEs per day. The last I heard, Rahul, the government was saying that PPEs have been manufactured in India for 600 rupees a piece. Why would anyone pay 10,000 rupees for PPEs when treating these
That's why we
stuff?
call this COVID for profit. These people, Navika, are fleecing you in your most desperate hour.
And the course of the entire disease, COVID, if you were to come out of it, is about 14 to 15 days. And 14 to 15 days, even out of those, if you were to require ventilator support, let's say for 7 or 8 days, it means that ventilator alone would have 8 to 10 lakh rupees
that's
of
all
a tab.
extra.
And each day, hospitalization, there is the doctor's fee. Every visit of the doctor is 9,500. And it won't be one doctor, because there will be one who will check your fever, one who will check your lungs, one who will check your sugar, one who will check different parts of your body. So each visit of the doctor is 9,500.
My
It's
God.
a mind-boggling number, and it seems to be an industry based on pandemic as its basis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is a third hospital that Times Now's Shilpa Nair visited and told us that here at least 2 lakh rupees were required in advance to enter the hospital for treatment. This is the tab in a third hospital. And ladies and gentlemen, we are not naming these hospitals simply because we want, if there are regulators appointed by the government, there must be somebody who must be carrying out checks in these hospitals on what's going on, what are the safety standards, what are the pricing standards, how are patients being treated. Is there any regulatory mechanism to monitor all of this? We don't quite know. Let's take a look first at Shilpa Nair's report number 3 that we've put out in this investigation to tell you how it costs an arm and a leg, and if you were to come out of COVID, maybe the bill would set you back in your health. Take a look.
Okay, patient
He is asymptomatic.
asymptomatic carrier, but he is positive.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you give your number. Once if I get a bed availability, I'll just call you once and just you get the patient here.
Okay, so you don't have bed.
No, right now there is no availability of bed. Once if I get the bed availability means I'll just call you once to get the patient here and we put the admission. Okay, patient age
52.
stable and conscious.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
No, we just don't want to keep him there. It's
In government hospital.
because government
Feeling
hospital.
comfortable
Yeah.
with it.
No, the problem is like if there is anything, they don't check, they don't test and all that. That is the issue.
Okay, fine, sir. Let's just you give your number. I'll just call you once and get back to you.
So,
Within,
is there an advance amount that we need?
No, there is no payment here at all.
Okay.
Once the patient admitted, we can get the billing code on the tomorrow itself only.
Okay, so we don't have to pay in advance.
Right now, here there is no payment at all.
Okay.
If you are the insurance patient, means you have to go to the insurance floor and just tell the
Because
insurance
we inquired in some other private hospital, they said they need like 3 lakh advance.
3 lakh advance.
Yeah, so we just.
No. Here the not the advance. We have to pay like some initial amount like 30 or 40,000.
So there is no ICU beds or not?
No, there is no here ICU isolation availability. Already many patients are came here for the ICU isolation. I just refer to GS only.
So like roughly how much should we say for 15 days?
For 15
I mean
days.
15 or 7.
But you are telling the patient is the asymptomatic.
I know, we
carrier.
never know what is going to happen. So
Literally,
Little
We are
diabetic,
safe.
that's why we are concerned.
diabetic also. Other than any comorbidities,
No.
only diabetic.
Diabetic.
Okay, but age is 40,
52.
52. Better you literally arrange some 1 or 2.
1 or 2 lakhs
That is fine.
per day or total?
Not per day. Total amount I'll just telling.
Well, viewers, this is a shocking reality, and I want to go straight across to both Shabir and Shilpa. Shabir, first to you. I just want to ask you, how is it that at a time like this sort of daylight robbery is being allowed in the state of Tamil Nadu, where incidentally the crisis is really out of hand, it's serious, it's the second highest number of infected cases across the country after Maharashtra?
Well, Rahul, the reason why private hospitals were roped in by the Tamil Nadu government is to help the government in fighting this pandemic. But what is happening is, daylight exploitation of COVID-19 patients. People fear is being used to mint money. So that is how these private hospitals are functioning. In fact, we went to 3 or 4 hospitals in and around the city to try and inquire about the kind of rates that they are charging. It's all package. If it is asymptomatic patient, then it's a package. If it is symptomatic patient, then it's a different package. If the patient is little critical, then there is an ICU package. So this is how private hospitals are fleecing patients who are desperate to get treated for COVID-19. In fact, some of them are not comfortable being at government facility, so they opt for private healthcare facilities, private hospitals. But that is being used to mint money. I'll just show you this bill that we have managed to access from one of the patients who was discharged on 16/5/2020. The particulars of the bill is evaluation and management of COVID-19 positive, and the charge is for single room for isolation. This is a patient who had mild symptoms, and for him for single room they have charged 25,000 rupees, and for 9 days. And he has paid more than he has paid somewhere around 2.25 lakhs. So this is one patient. Another bill from another hospital where it clearly shows that the patient was there for 7 days and he has been charged 1,31,000, and out of which he has to pay 61,000 for PPE kits alone, for PPEs that were used by doctors. And the room rent is somewhere around 15,000. There is another bill from another hospital where the patient was only there for 12 hours or more than 12 hours, and the patient has to pay somewhere around 1 lakh. And this was the patient who threatened the hospital that he will go file a legal case against them because they wanted him to pay 1.5 lakhs, but he fought and he had to pay 1 lakh rupees. So this is how hospitals are overcharging in Chennai, and we have been trying to ask the government what are they doing about this, why are they turning a blind eye to how the private healthcare has been functioning in the city during the time of a pandemic. The government says that they are looking into
Shabir,
it.
I want to ask you this question because you said that the patient threatened to file a legal case and his bill was reduced from 1.5 lakhs to 1 lakh for a 12-hour stay. So are you saying, this is negotiable in these hospitals? You actually threaten them and you can bring down the prices. Is there no check on the rates that they are charging? Because each of these hospitals are given land by government at concessional rates. So there must be a cap that must be applied to the room rent, a room rent of 25,000 in a bill. I mean, that's, I think, more than a 5-star or a 7-star hotel would charge.
It's like booking a suite in one of India's leading 5-star hotels. I mean, I just don't understand what's going on. And, you look to the left of your screens, viewers, that's the state of government hospitals. On the right, if you say, okay, we don't want to go here because they're not well maintained, you go to the private hospital, you get looted. Shilpa, where are those that are supposed to be regulating this? And what are these hospitals saying in their defense? I know that we've contacted these hospitals, we are not naming them, but what are they saying in their defense?
Well, Rahul, the reason why we decided to do this investigation is because over these last few days, we've been getting several complaints from patients saying that they're being overcharged at private hospitals, and that is the reason we decided to do a status check. And of course, like you rightly mentioned, this is a stunning revelation as to how private hospitals are minting money in the midst of a pandemic. The government, of course, says that we've already verbally communicated to these private hospitals that they should not overcharge the patients. considering the situation is quite serious. But nevertheless, going by the bills and going by the testimonies of the patients and their relatives, nothing seems to be happening on ground. There is no cap on the prices that they are charging in terms of COVID-19 medical treatment. But we, of course, sought an official response from all the three, hospitals. One, of course, says that we've been given wrong information by their employees. Probably there was some kind of miscommunication, and there is no possibility that the hospital is charging so much. The other hospital, of course, said that again they denied that they are overcharging, and they said that they will give us a list, a total breakdown of what they are charging for and how much they are charging for. But the fact of the matter is, Navika and Rahul, several patients are on record. We have their testimonies, we have their medical bills, and you can see how they are overcharged. This is not something that we have made up.
I don't know if a pandemic is the right time for hospitals to set up targets for profiteering. That is the big question. And joining us on the panel tonight, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, Chairman Nephron, Dr. K.K. Agarwal, President Heartcare Foundation of India, Bijon Mishra, consumer rights activist, Dr. Deepak Bed, President Association of Medical Consultants, P. Raghuram, President Association of Surgeons in India, Dr. Ravi Malik, CMD of Radix Hospital, and we also have Mr. Satyan from the AIADMK. But first to you, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, I want to ask you a simple question. Most hospitals, even private ones, get land at concessional rates. They also probably get a lot of concessions as far as import of equipment is concerned. In such a case, when it comes to a pandemic, isn't there a duty for hospitals, and isn't there a regulator that should be looking at all the charges that hospitals put in there, so that at least in a pandemic situation, patients can have some sort of a reasonable demand from hospitals as far as charges are concerned for their treatment, especially in a case like COVID-19, where your hospitalization could be anything between 2 days to 15, 17 days?
Good evening, Navika. Good evening, Rahul, all the panelists and all the viewers. Are we giving affordable and accessible healthcare in India? Probably no. This is a pandemic, and obviously we need to course correct, we need to introspect. But before I actually mention three very important points, I want to mention that the rate list and all the hospital charges are actually, the blame comes on the individual doctors, but they're actually fixed by the hospitals. But the rot is a little bit deeper. The land in most metro hospital, in most of the metros, belongs to the local authorities. Like in Delhi, it's DDA. This is government institutional land. It is either given free or at a very low cost. It is actually taken by charitable trusts, and then the charitable trusts take on a private player, and they have a hand-in-glove arrangement. Now, the charitable trusts are non-for-profit organizations which are supposed to have a mandate, an obligation to the local authorities or the government, and abide by their memorandum of articles. That sadly is not happening. I mean, that if anyone tries to defend this, it's the indefensible. So we have an arrangement which is a camouflage arrangement of a profit share, which is revenue share, but it actually amounts to lease or rental of a government land, and the trust takes this money out. And I just wish and I pray with folded hands that the government and the Supreme Court and any law-abiding authority in India is listening to this, because all the charitable trusts need thorough investigation and a forensic audit. Let it come out clean. This is the time we need to come out clean. Doctors get a blame for it, and we don't even get a fraction of what is being portrayed in the bill. That is actually a reality. All the charitable trusts, Navika and Rahul, have income tax exemption, ATG certification. They use this, they misuse this, and the money goes out of the trust, out of the hospital, very often overseas. I mean, that is there for everyone to see. The doctors don't come out loud, they don't come out clear, because they are petrified of what is going to happen to them. Very often they are victimized. I think this is the time to stand up for what the truth is. This is the time to stand up for what is the value of human life in India at the present moment.
Well, that's why we've conducted this investigation. Viewers, it's time to stand up for the value of human life in a situation like this. Now, before I bring in the AIADMK spokesperson, the ruling party's spokesperson, I want you to listen in to what these two patients told us. Now, this was a conversation, strict basis of anonymity. We withheld their particulars and details, listen to what they told us, listen to their stories. They're telling us that they were desperately extorted and they could not say no.
You have admitted both your parents at a popular hospital in Chennai. How much money you have spent for their treatment?
I have admitted initially in a government hospital and I later shifted them to the famous hospital in Chennai actually. They told me that it will be costing 3 lakhs for a normal ward, and if my father is put up in an ICU, then they are told 1 day per day it will be 50,000 rupees. My mother got discharged yesterday. I got a bill from the hospital stating that approximately 1.5 lakh has been a bill. She was there in the hospital for 7.5 days actually, 7.5 days actually, they are stating it like that. Okay. The PPE kit they have charged is 68,000 rupees. What happened is I have to pay for this PPE kit approximately 50 to 50,000 rupees excess. Okay. Which I feel it is not ethical.
What is the estimate likely that they have suggested?
They have been charging 50,000 rupees per day. They have told me it will come to 50,000 rupees. If it is not in a ventilator case, if it is in a ventilator case, they are charging 70,000 rupees per day. So I can expect some around 6 to 7 lakhs for my father.
What exactly happened there? How much money you paid or spent on this COVID-19 treatment?
14 days they told the amount will be between 265 and 285. It is like a package.
Okay, what package is this, sir?
2,65,000 to 2,85,000. It may vary between that, they told. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was admitted in a sharing room.
Okay.
In that I stayed for 5 days. In the sharing room, they charged 20,000 per day. And in the single room, they charged 25,000. But for me, I was there for 9 days, they charged for 25,000. I told them I was there in 5 days, that should be 20,000 and it should be 25,000. No. When you are discharging, whichever the room you are, we are counting that charge, they told me. That is sir.
So how much you paid, sir?
I paid totally 2,25,000 for 9 days.
Mr. Satyam, what are you going to do about this, Mr. Satyam? Because if you don't, people will wonder if there is some cozy arrangement.
I didn't get the question. What do you mean by a cozy arrangement?
Well, people will say that the state is not looking at this seriously because there is an inbuilt, perhaps, and I'm asking you this with full responsibility, inbuilt advantage to you.
No, I'm seriously not able to connect the dots.
Well, I'll tell you, because if government hospitals are built on concessional... No, one second. If government hospitals are being built on concessional land grants... No, Mr. Satyam, you need to listen to me. I'll explain to you. You heard Dr. Bagai. Dr. Bagai says concessions are given to hospitals by the various governments. And if these hospitals are allowed to continuously bleed the system, it can only mean one thing, that the state is allowing it. And then obviously the motives will be questioned.
No, ask your chief deputy editor Shabir to put up the story, which hospital did he visit, and whether that hospital received any concession from the state government or not.
Mr. Satyam, the stories are there and there must be a list of these private hospitals. It's not about one hospital, 2 hospitals, 3 hospitals. Mr. Satyam, the question here is the government duty bound to monitor what charges are being put out by private hospitals and whether in the time of a pandemic they are profiteering at the cost of patients who have very little choices at this moment? That's the question. Where is the moral obligation? Where is the actual obligation of the government to keep this regulated, monitored, to benefit and to be supportive of the Aam Aadmi?
Okay. Now I welcome your point of view and question. Let me answer that if given a time. The entire healthcare ecosystem, fortunately, I have been an IT consultant to one of the leading chains of hospitals in India. Even I was amazed 10 years back when the hospital was charging 1,50,000 for a room per day at Noida. So there are difference in prices everywhere. So the private player says that it is the charge which he gives for the service. Even the healthcare facility, we have gradings as 5-star, 7-star, and so on. But what during this time of pandemic, the government is doing is, we have requested the private players to allocate 25% of their bed capacities as COVID. And nonetheless, you might be aware that majority of the private hospitals are shut. They didn't operate because if there is one COVID positive
Satyan,
is
why
come out in the
request?
corporate
What is this
hospital,
business of
shut is
requesting?
shut. So
Why don't you order? It's a fact that a large number of hospitals are also owned by political players. We know this. A large number of medical facilities are owned by political players. So why aren't you passing an order mandating this? After all, these hospitals are benefiting from concessions that have been given on taxpayer expense. If the taxpayer is going to get cheated time and again and debited time and again, why should he actually be dependent upon you? What are you doing instead of requesting? Pass an order.
I can only limit my comments with respect to Tamil Nadu.
I'm talking about
If
Tamil
there is an
Nadu, sir. I'm not
allegation-
talking about the
If there is
Union
an
of India.
allegation, if there is an allegation that the hospital which your person visited is run by a politician and they are pleasing customers, please go ahead and put up the facts because that is your primary role and
Satyan,
responsibility.
this is not some
Here-
sort of bureaucracy here. We are going to be giving you the names of the hospital as we get off this show. We want a time-bound inquiry and we want you to penalize these hospitals and we want you as the state government to pass an order which mandates hospitals, private hospitals, to reserve beds. Stop this requesting business.
I want to ask you, Mr. Satyam, put a hand on your heart and tell me, is 25,000 rupees per day rent something that is justifiable for a hospital, even though you make it sound as if it's a great benefit that they're giving to people of Tamil Nadu by putting aside 25% of their hospital capacity for COVID patients? Is 25,000 rupees justifiable as a one-day rent in a hospital for a COVID patient?
Now, if both of you allow me to vouch my opinion, I would be glad to do so. The point here is the state government is monitoring the pricing patterns of different private hospitals, and there are hospitals which has given their facility exclusively for COVID. Their rates are also being monitored. But as a healthcare ecosystem, there are policies which puts in place that the pricing what they charge is entirely left to them. And
Sir,
there is
that-
no
that-
mechanism
that
such
has
in
been passed,
India.
which gives you emergency powers. You do know this, don't you? You can tax alcohol companies. You can tax alcohol companies. You can tax all sorts of other things, double them, triple them, 7 times increase them. But you have a problem putting in a law to tell hospitals to do what they're honor bound to doing? I find this rather strange. Bijon Mishra is raising his hand, and Dr.
this
K.K.
is
Agarwal
absolutely
also wants to
nothing
come in.
to do
Yes,
with this.
Bijon Mishra.
Rahul, I want to tell the Tamil Nadu government, I like to mention to Tamil Nadu government, in 2010, the central government came out with the Clinical Establishment Act. There is a law in place, but you will be amazed to know 18 states have notified it, but none of them have implemented it. So where is the question of charging more?
There you go.
There is no law in terms of charges. The state governments do not want to implement the Clinical Establishment Act. They are coming out with some excuse or the other to wriggle out of it because of the strong lobby of the profit-making private hospitals. The issue is very clear. There is no political will in our country to regulate the pricing of the private hospitals in our country, and that is why they are taking full advantage. You know it very well.
Dr. K.K.
We went to
Agarwal,
the Supreme Court.
that's at the bottom of this entire profit-making machinery. Because if the government levies taxes, it goes to the state exchequer. But if there is a private arrangement for sharing of profits, then it goes without an audit to some politicians' pockets. It's not an allegation, it is just simple logic, and I don't think anybody living in India will question this logic, because it happens all the time, Dr. K.K. Agarwal, which is why 25,000 rupees for a room in a COVID hospital is allowed to go ahead, and even with the pandemic law being in place, Epidemic Act being in place, governments are not willing to look into the charges and the rate list of private hospitals.
I think, let me be very clear, the issue is not what the private hospitals are charging and what are their charges. The issue is a pandemic. In a pandemic situation, there is a disaster or National Disaster Act which is applicable. Municipal Corporations Act is applicable. Disease Epidemic Act is applicable. Under these acts, it is a government responsibility to provide the services to the people. Government has already capped the prices of the testing, 4,500 rupees. They have capped the prices of all PPEs, that you cannot sell it more than that. There is no reason why the central government and the state governments have not attached their powers under the Essential Commodities Act, under the National List of Essential Medicines, and they have not capped the bills. I think the public in Tamil Nadu and all over India, whosoever are paying heavy bills in the hospital should send the bill to the government, and the government, if doesn't pay, they should go to the High Court to order the government, and the day their bills reaches government will immediately cap the prices of these treatments. We are not discussing a non-pandemic situation. I don't want to debate into it. During a pandemic situation, it is the duty of the central government and the state government.
But so you're saying, Dr. K.K. Agarwal, state governments may not take action. It is the onus is on the patients to go through the route of the High Court, pay lawyers to represent them in the courts, get an order from the court, and then go to the central government or the state government and continue this fight, so that in case you are going to wait for your turn in the courts, you could either choose to be afflicted by COVID-19, or you could choose to be afflicted by a judicial system which will keep you waiting for a while.
Okay.
No, this is the duty of the state government and the central government to provide them fixed charges. Nobody can charge. It is a failure of the central government and the state government not to freeze charges. Why are they not freezing charges? It's their duty. And if they don't do it, courts will intervene. I'm trying to say, if the government is not
courts
doing
will
their job,
intervene in their own sweet time, sir, and this is a epidemic dire situation. Nonetheless, let me open this out very quickly. Dr. Deepak Baid, go ahead.
So a lot of things were discussed now, and I will just say a few technical things. First and foremost, the land given by the government means I have seen both the aspects, the corporates, the nursing homes. I'm the president of the association. My doctors are working in the hospitals. I have seen the patient's perspective also. Now, when Dr. Bagai said something, he's absolutely wrong technically. The land which is given by the government, there are clauses in that X percentage has to be reserved for free patient and an X percent has to be given a discounted patient. The remaining percentage has to be there to run the hospital. It's only not the land which is required to be paid for. There is staff, infrastructure, equipments and other things. The other thing which has been pointed out by one of the compare is 25,000 per day. Is it justifiable? Unfortunately, most of the things PP which we are getting doesn't have a capping. It has been told on paper there shall be a capping. We have even put a PIL against the non-capping of N95. N95 mask is available between 150 to 350.
You will keep throwing up. This is first of all, you must realize this is a special situation. This is a pandemic situation. This is an emergency. This is a health emergency. The nation is facing at an unprecedented scale. I'm sorry, a lot of rules will have to be rewritten in circumstances such as this. We have a reaction. The president of the Tamil Nadu Health Development Association has called upon the state government to quickly pass a law. Listen to this. Big impact.
Fear and this thing should not be make a capital out of that. And the government should rein in and form, and they should form strict guidelines, and they should, this is the time they can always regulate and compel the private hospitals to fall in line.
Well, Dr. Ravi Malik, just as we wrap up this show, I want to ask you just this. The onus is going to be on governments, Or is there a conscience that is left with private hospitals as well, at least in times of a pandemic?
Look, let us not keep everything on the conscience or ethics of the hospitals. Let us try to see what is the rule. You will be amazed to know that the people who have taken land, which is either free or at very concessional or nominal rates, they are supposed to treat 33% of the patients free of cost.
Yes.
I will again say, if a hospital is 1,000 bedded, they are supposed to be treating 330 patients free of cost, and 40% of the OPD is free of cost. So what I mean to say you is, this is in a normal circumstances, this should happen. Right now we are going through an extraordinary, unprecedented type of an emergency pandemic, where we should be even more empathetic. It is very shameful, it is very heartbreaking that you are charging.
It is shameful, I agree with you. We are not in normal times, ladies and gentlemen. And at this moment, it is time to question not the doctors. The doctors are fighting for our lives. But it is time to question the profit-making machinery that is in operation in private hospitals. If it's not conscience, then are there rules that are going to apply? Is there a regulator like the government that is going to come in? Is it the state government or the central government? Or as always, will people who are citizens of India and in need of healthcare have to still go and knock on the doors of the courts of India? Is that the only solution for us? Well, let's think about it. We'll carry forward this story from other parts of the country. It's a big Times Now investigation, and Shabir Ahmed, Shilpa Nair need to be complimented for this big exclusive story that could be your story, my story, anybody's story in this country. We'll follow it. Stay tuned to us. Taking a break, much more news on the other side.